times that I've seen you lose your way, you're not in control, and you won't be told. All I can do to keep you safe is hold you close till you can breathe on your own, till you can breathe on your own. Hold tight, you're slowly coming back to life. I've been giving you hell, I've been giving you hell, darling. Let go of all your haunted dreams tonight. I've been giving you hell, I've been giving you hell, darling. Hold tight, you're slowly coming back to life. I've been giving you hell, I've been giving you hell, darling. Let go of all your haunted dreams tonight. I've been giving you hell, I've been giving you hell. I won't let you down. Everyone keeps a darker place to lose control. You're not alone. And when you come looking for embrace, I know your soul. I'll be your home. You can breathe on.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. It's been a week.
You can breathe on your
Okay. So, today we're gonna be doing some fun stuff. We're gonna be talking about the Myriad, which is the Thieves Guild in Rundar. So let me go ahead and pull up my stuff real fast. Hold. Okay, let me pause this and get our generic free little music up on here. Hold. Play. Ta-dam. Okay. Let me load up our map. Area maps, Midlands. There we are. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, here we are. So, Rundar is the continent that we've kind of been working on for the most part here. Rundar includes Godrek technically, even though Godrek's kind of like its own thing. But we have Dekal, which is where our campaign is currently based, and Varshavan, which is a fun little side thing that we've been developing a little bit when I have time. And then Tavasvaria, which is like the militaristic, basically if you have magic you're in the military type situation. But the commonality between all of these places is that the main Thieves Guild in all of these countries is going to be the Myriad, and the Myriad is just one of many. So Latour has the Vale, and Aylmore has Meowblock, and then Skiria is its own thing that doesn't really have a Thieves Guild per se. So what we're going to be doing is designing mostly the headquarters of the Thieves Guild, which is going to be in Umbra, which is where my players are currently right now. So let's just hop right into it. Let me pull up my stuff. Varia groups, countries, Rundar. Oh wait, no, the factions list. Open Sesame. I did a whole thing. I ended up not doing the wizard schools or any of that fun stuff. I think that's more stuff that would come up as my players get into finding things, as like those are things that will develop naturally as I have players that want to be part of different My brain is not working, man. Want to be part of different organizations. So, let's take a look. See? Oh, you know what I forgot to do? One moment. It's been a week. Okay. So, let me go ahead and move this time. Okay. So, today we're going to be looking at the myriad. So, let's go ahead and actually, I feel like I did this differently for Latour for the Veil. I did. I have a whole doc for the Veil. The Veil. I think I will copy and paste this actually into Rundar. So what I'm going to eventually do whenever I have time is go through and just put in different histories for different countries and different areas and such. So let's go ahead and get Rundar. I spelled that wrong. A million years ago when I made these folders. So we'll call this the Myriad. Whew. I'll get rid of this. And save. Alrighty. Let's open this bad boy up. So, actually something that we need to keep in mind is we do have story beats for Cass that we have to take into account when making this group. Yeah. Where is he? Cass. There he is. Cass is an Alnar. He did that already. Cass is a lycanthrope. Cass wants revenge. Cass was emotionally hurt by people in his past. Cass hurt other people. He's a lycanthrope. He wants revenge against that myriad. Yes, this is where we are. So what I think we're going to be developing today are going to be more of the people and maybe a little bit of like a hierarchy, like who reports to who. And then what we'll probably do is go ahead and either in Roll20 or in like a very bad paint sketch, we'll go through and design the basics of the Myriad headquarters that is in Umbra. So for today, I think we're just going to focus on people and taking a look at that. And yeah, and then we'll rock and roll with everything else. I thought I forgot to change that, but I didn't. Perfect. Okay. So, let's take a look. Alright. So this is going to be Umbra, is the big one. Of a continent, Rundar. And this is going to be the Myriad. The Myriad. The Myriad. From the Veil and Miami block of Rundar and Aylmore, respectively, of Latour and Elmore, respectively, though they do often partner with them to achieve bigger goals. The Myriad, I can't today, centered in Umbra as the underground operation of the city. Notable members, Umbra, perfect. Okay, so my favorite thing is using the baby name generator. I'm just going for like random cultures that maybe people haven't. What is Basque? What is that? Basque. Southwestern European Basque language, a common culture and shared genetic ancestry. Vascons and Aquitanians. Region that is located on the western end of the Pyrenees on the coast of the Bay of Biscay and straddles parts of north-central Spain and southwestern France. Interesting. Basque. Not a lot to choose from here. Got some Alasne. Einhor. Shucky. Arizona. No way. Good oak. Arizona, meaning good oak. Interesting. All right. A little side quest right there. Oh, okay, good. Usually it doesn't let me go back. Oh, Armenian, African. I feel like Arabic and African are the vibes that I want to go for. Lithuanian, Maori. Let's do Arabic for now. Take a look. I'm gonna narrow it down slightly. There are a lot of them. Okay, so the character that I have in my head. Alright, let's start with that. Role leader of the Mehrad. Physical description. Do mannerisms. Notes. So this is nickname. Name. Wah! Name. Race. Age. Okay. Let's do this. Copy. Pasta. Copy pasta. Copy pasta. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So role leader of the myriad. So physical description. I'm thinking like medium dark skin, brown eyes. The image in my head has longer hair. When I think of the vibes of this person. Shoulder, whoops. Length hair. Brown hair. Let's do dark brown hair actually. Dark brown hair. Myriad save. Let's actually pull up the veil. Take a look at that because I like being descriptive, as you can tell. But there's also and we talked about this last time with the family of our mermaid boy. But I like giving each of the significant NPCs I have something like special about their physical appearance to differentiate them from everyone else, so that if that person shows up again later, they can not only recognize them without me saying the name of the person, but if there is no name of the person, they can essentially be like, I think this might be the person that we saw a million years ago. And I love when my players make those connections. It makes me very happy. So, this one I did shave sides, which, like, now looking at it, I'm like, that'd be so hard to upkeep. That'd be ridiculous. They would probably be tattooed, actually. Right side of her face, black boots. So I did describe, like, what they usually wear. So, what are the vibes? What are the vibes? I think I may have done a little mini description. He has to be able to find the leader and actually be able to challenge them. Sneak into Thieves Guild, probably not successfully. They take him to the leader to decide what to do with him. Anybody who's good enough to sneak into a Thieves Guild gets recruited. Become part of the Thieves Guild and be able to get into the hall where they congregate. So Cass wants revenge, and the idea behind this guy is that he's gonna be like a level 20 something rogue. He's not gonna be beatable for Cass, who is level 8 at this point, level 9 probably by the time they get there. He's just not going to be. And I've talked with my player about this too, and I was like, hey, I know that you want this whole revenge arc for Cass, but it just probably literally would not be possible. He was like, yeah, I get that. That's totally okay. In his mind, in Cass's player's mind, Cass is meant to be beaten down by this guy to some degree. We'll see how well that goes and how basically that pans out in terms of how creative they get for trying to get into the Thieves Guild and the respect they earn in their process to get into the Thieves Guild. But we'll see how that works, because that will change some things. People who attacked Cass and Ellis are members of the guild. They're just lackeys. And Cass blaming the leader is somewhat of a ridiculous idea in the eyes of the myriad. The leader should acknowledge that the death of Ellis is not equivalent to the crime committed. So basically, Ellis and Cass, and Ellis was Cass's boyfriend at the time, were basically encroaching on the myriad's turf in terms of stealing for a while at that point. They'd been given warnings, and then eventually they were attacked by a bunch of Thieves Guild members. And now Cass blames the leader of the Thieves Guild for the actions of a couple of people who were not under his thumb. Like, he doesn't know what happens in other cities. He doesn't know the inner working, like the very minute details of the different parts of his Thieves Guild. But what he does know is that people are not supposed to kill for stealing. Like, that's just a huge overreaction. And Ellis was killed by those people who came after them. So what we're going to get here, I think, out of this is somebody who is both a realistic, has a realistic point of view. Like, you were given warnings. You're just not my problem, dude. But at the same time is like, okay, initially this was your fault, but the reaction to the crime committed was not equivalent to the severity of it. So, oops, that's the kind of person that we have to craft today, and that's what we're gonna do. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to show you the finished version of the museum. One second, let me pull it up. Okay. So what I discovered last time was that you can if you go into settings on a token, you can set it to show like a description for it. And so that's what I did for all of these. And so I basically got to give like little apps. That was not meant to happen. Little descriptions for everything, which is fun. Oh, this is supposed to be on show. Yeah. So we've got what I did outside of last time was I did the armor. So the armor of superior speed, the armor of etherealness, demon armor, armor of the berserker, and armor of iridescence. But we have a couple of scenes happening over here, and then some items, one of which they are going to steal, so it's going to be this one right here. Cask of Lonk. We have some staffs and weapons and stuff, and then we have some historical figures. Genevieve, Nalani, Anael, Marika, Vaclav, and Cataquil. Are all of those. And then if they go here, they're just gonna see a little presentation room. Which I've got, so it's not gonna come into play, but I like the idea of the presenter being able to basically prepare almost PowerPoint slides-esque, but instead it's like water figures or something like that. I think that would be really cool, or like holograms. Things like that. So I'm gonna put him back. So that's what I did last time. I don't think I did anything else. I think we did everything else on here. So yeah, that's what happened in the time that you were gone. I might switch out one of the weapons with like an instrument of some kind just to tempt my bard a little, but so let's do Umbra. Baby names. Ooh, Altanine sounds nice. Esmail. For some reason it feels like a E to G name, but I'll check out some other ones as well. Haroon actually might be good. I'm gonna copy that. There we go. Okay, we got Haroon up in here, like that one. K is a nice one as well. Kyrie. Hi, Pupper. She's so cute. Mahomet. It doesn't feel, he doesn't feel like an M name. Q maybe. T maybe as well. I like Haroon, if I'm being honest. I like it. Haroon is leader of Thieves Guild. He's going to be human. So this character really needs to be a reflection of Cass, and basically be everything that Cass wishes he was. So let's go ahead and do like 20, 28, maybe like 30. 29. We're right in the middle. I don't, so the Veil, they all have nicknames, and I feel like that would be pretty standard um, in a thieves guild where you don't want people to know your real name. But I kind of don't want Haroon to have one. Words that mean leader. Commander. Superior Kingpin. Maybe we go for like to accentuate the idea that this person is not involved in the very everyday things, like the very minute details, the people very low on the rung. Maybe we call him a king. Monarch, king, queen, sovereign. Emperor. Tsar. Tsar might be good. Its origin is Russian. Guru. I kind of like the idea of doing king. So words that mean king. Hi, Puffer. You coming to visit me? You're just gonna stare at me? Come here. She's funny. Ah, baby. Oh, baby. Ah, baby. Monarch, ruler, sovereign, crowned head, majesty. Majesty, maybe? Majesty is kind of nice. Emperor, prince, overlord, lord, leader, chief. Majesty or king? King seems too on the nose. So does majesty. I wish there was something just slightly less poignant. Luminary. Bobby. She's so cute. I love you. What? She's funny. Monarch, Sultan, Baron, Caesar, Tsar, Kaiser. What is the other name for king? Majesty. Majesty is the closest. I can't keep petting you. I have stuff to do. She needs so much attention. Definitely, let's do like a, well, I guess if you're a Thieves Guild person, you would want to be wearing darker clothes. Cass's color is like kind of a dark blue, like a midnight blue, so maybe we do some midnight blue clothing. So midnight blue pants and jacket. Whoa. Wait. White. What are those flowy shirt called? Shirts called. Flowy white shirts called. Shorts. Shirts. What are they called? What are they called? A poet shirt. White poet shirt. I kind of... Let's do like a rapier. Rapier attached to his hip. I'm kind of coming to realize that I'm not a big fan of doing character creation on stream. I think that I would rather do like hierarchy and the such. So I think that we might do that. So hierarchy, and then I'll do everything else off stream. Because I don't know what it is, it just makes me feel confined, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't. So hierarchy. So what we have here, I kind of want to do, what if we did it like this? And then we did screenshots and we just pasted them in there. Okay. So, let's say here, Majesty. Where's a box? A box. Transformations, portion side, align objects, arrange, convert. Is this? I thought I was. Oh, you know what? I think I changed it through here. Okay. So let's just do it gray. Yeah, and then an outline in blue. That'll be nice. Okay. Let's see. Perfect. Text attributes. No. Character. Haha. Perfect. Alrighty. So, we have the leader of the Thieves Guild, but on top of that, we need to look at the map and take a look at, oops. We need to take a look, a gander at the cities that are here. So we have Dakal, for one, that we have to look at. Dakal, we have Tavasvaria. I feel like in Tavasvaria, the Thieves Guild would be, like, less of a steal from anyone type situation and more of a like fight against the government type situation. I feel like it would be more of an anarchy vibe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Varshvan, we have Galdrek, the Dragonboard Isles. Galdrek. And I think that's it for Rundar. Okay. So we've got Dakal, and then we've got individual leaders. So we've got, I feel like Majesty would be directly in charge of Dakal, and then the rest, the other countries would have like a managing head of state, basically, for each Thieves Guild. For each branch of the Thieves Guild. So, we're gonna put these on a slightly lower tier. Bruh. So, we've got, I think we'll do this. So, Tavasvaria, and then we'll have leader. So, we'll do a head of state, basically, is what it's gonna end up being. Actually, let's copy and paste and then do... Hesitators, sacred communicators. Perfect. Out of state. This right? Nope. I should have just copied and pasted. Such is life. Okay, so we have to call, and in charge of Dekal is Majesty. Dekal is going to be in charge of basically all of these. Do that. Let's do... There was a way to make it so that these have flip. They have little dots that you can attach to. Hello, thank you for joining. Appreciate it, I appreciate it. Okay, let's take a look and see. Do these and that. So what we have here are Our Majesty, the heads of state for each of them, and then below each of those is going to be I actually need to, because I forgot that we have to think about Dekal as a separate entity, basically. There we go. Okay. Let's scoot this over one. Perfect. Dekal. Tavisvaria. Barshavan. And Galdrek. And then below each of those are going to be separate city heads, basically. Oops. Managers. It's not the right word. Synonyms. Executive. Foreman. Boss. Head. Overseer is probably right. Overseer. So for Dekal, he would probably have a city overseer. In Umbra, I would say. Especially great communicators. Okay. So we have the city overseer, and then probably below that would be their own, basically their own ways of doing things. They would probably have different ways of organizing the hierarchy the further down you go. I don't know if I want to plan that much out. Like, I don't I don't think that I don't think that a thieves guild who has like an overseer would care, like I don't think Majesty would care about how these overseers run their cities. And some of them would probably be tougher than others about it. Yeah. And then below that would be basically like smaller gangs, gang leaders, and the my brain isn't working, and the lackeys basically beneath them. Hello, Witch and Smith. How's it going? Thank you for reading us. How was your stream? How was your stream? Oh, it's not letting me. Hold on, it's not letting me follow you back. Let me go to Twitch and rectify that. The Witch and Smith. Cute. That's so fun. Belxander, thank you. Day 2 of a subathon for 2 months of stream, or 6 months of streaming. Nice, that's so fun. That's so much fun. I hope it went well. What did you guys do? Aww. Hi, Xander. Oh, you know what I should do is move my chatters up. If it'll work, there we go. I don't know if it works or not. I changed it up a little bit, but it's not particularly. I don't know if it's showing up or not. Oh, hang on. Balancer. Yesterday we tested your own game system for combat. Today I was just playing a bunch of games, Gunfire Reborn and Skyrim. That's so fun. Aw, that sucks. Well, I'm available at, as of 44 minutes ago. I'm almost every day, not quite. That's so fun. I love Skyrim. It's the one game that I always go back to, you know? Okay, so City Overseer, and then we have the basically gangs and lackeys. That would be under there. I think gangs is not the right word, but it's the only one that I am coming up with right now. So, and then we'll do bing, bang, boop. Yeah, I saw that when I followed them. My chatters is messed up. Let me switch it back to the old chat. There we go. That and a few others got you going back. Me and the wife kind of hang out on the stream, playing games, crafting, and even doing D&D 5e TEPS. What does TEPS stand for? That's so much fun, actually. Okay, we'll take a screenshot of this and toss it in the chat. Not in the chat, in the thing. The 8-point star. You said it was for combat? That's so cool. So cool. I can't talk. This is a low energy stream today. Fortunately. But alas, such is life. So we have the hierarchy. Look. Backspace. And That's good. We'll center this, actually. Whoa! Okay. Perfect. Alright. So, we've kind of got a general idea of how this works. So basically, the myriad leader is going to be in charge, quote unquote, of everything. But what we're gonna do right now is I don't know if I should do session planning per se, but I definitely want to do a little bit of mapping out in terms of don't save. I'll probably regret that later. In terms of planning Cass's next little bit. So what I'll probably do is bring this down, and then we'll do a little bit of a, if I can manage. Right, left. Okay, it is here. We'll do a little bit of planning out on that front. So, yeah, it's a hierarchy chart. We tested mechanics for combat and started balancing against Skelly Man. It was nice, and you were nice and gave him weapons. That's so fun. That could work against him. They tried the Druid, Berserker, and Phosphoromancers. That's so fun. Have you developed all of the classes, or just those 3? That's so much fun, actually. Choice to get rid of the lycanthropy. Okay, so I think we actually do this. I was like you once. I had a dream once. Move these down. Okay, so I think we actually did a lot of this planning a long time ago. So based on how they get into the Thieves Guild is going to determine a lot of the initial respect that this person is going to have for Cass. So I think that if they decide to sneak into the Thieves Guild and do so successfully, which I sincerely doubt because none of them have any real sneaking capabilities, I think what we're gonna do is basically have brownie points levels that Majesty is going to have, that Haroon is going to have. So successfully sneaking to the Thieves Guild is one little check mark of like, oh, you actually have some potential to get on my level. I appreciate that. And 2, I think, I think that if I were the leader of a Thieves Guild, I think that the fight that he's going to be in, so the challenge, I think that will also, the way that Cass ends up fighting is going to put points into his book, basically. Okay, I see you got some moxie. We can talk. We can talk at the very least. You don't have classes, but backgrounds. They're more starter kits that you can add from there as you play. I love that idea, actually. A cleric who prefers to pummel people. Allows the characters to come in a box, but think and grow outside of the box. I love that, actually. I think I am pretty lax with my players in terms of, I guess my favorite rule in D&D is basically that there are no rules, which is what keeps me coming back to the system, or at least to 5e, because I'm so familiar with it that I can change the rules to fit in my individual parties, and that's what makes, I don't like having too much of a box that you have to fit into. So for my players, if they're like, I'm not having fun on this character, I'm not having fun with this part of them, or this part is boring, or I'm not feeling useful in combat or whatever, like, I am totally okay with, like, let's just break you off onto the side and talk about what we can do to make your life better, basically. Okay, technically the rules are just guidelines, not set in stone. Yeah, exactly. Cass wants revenge. He needs to fight him. The leader is much stronger than Cass is. The people who attacked Cass and Ellis are just members of the guild. They're lackeys to someone on the 3rd or 4th rung down from the leader. I'm so excited for this right here. I'm excited for that interaction to happen, of Cass to be like, you killed the most important you killed the most important person in my life, and I blame you for the actions of somebody else. And the Myriad is gonna be like, well, here in the Thieves Guild, we blame people for the things that they do, not for the things that other people do, for one. And for two, I admit that this happened to you, and the people who did it should be punished. But I unfortunately am not in charge of that. So it's going to be a very interesting interaction. We also, during that session planning thing, not session planning, during that campaign planning session, we talked about how he would fight. He would probably fight dirty. He would probably use things like pocket sand. And when eventually Haroon kicks Cass's ass, he's gonna be like, I was angry and the world was unfair, but I took that and I made a world of my own. And I wonder how that conversation, or that statement at least, is going to shape Cass, because I think it's going to be a very, very interesting dynamic to explore. Vet plenty who believe the rules are set in stone. Yeah, I think if that's the kind of game you want to run, and the kind of game you want to play in, more power to you. I just don't want to be in that game, personally. Not entirely. I definitely want, I don't know if after the fight I want this to happen. I kind of want it to happen during the fight. And then he's gonna be a little condescending shit to him, and then at the end of the fight, he's gonna give him a hand to help him up. It'd be like, I hope you learned something from this. Someone in the Thieves Guild would know what hardship is. They would have found something to make life worth living in the guild. So I kind of want to explore this, actually. Actually, Control Z. We'll do it on here. Hierarchy. The vibe. Culture is what I think I'm going for. Oh, I pressed spacebar. Nice. The Myriad acts as a home to those who are less fortunate and find themselves in dire circumstances. So there's a book series that I love called Becca Cooper, and in Becca Cooper they have this system of Thieves Guild where the leader is called the Rogue, and the Rogue basically takes care of not only their own people but also a lot of the poor people who basically the king doesn't care about. So that's kind of the vibe that I want for this is somebody who does not make all of their members be thieves, but more of all of their members contribute in their own ways, and it's very, very fun. Go ahead. If you're talking about my name, I don't care. Yeah, people can find me anyway. I've had a couple people mention it, and it's whatever. One idea to do, add a symbol for ranks of authority. That way, not just anyone can claim to be in a position of authority. Okay, perfect. Thank you, I appreciate it. I wonder, so the thing with symbols is that they are identifiable. And if I'm working in a Thieves Guild, I don't want to be identifiable. I don't want to be differentiated from anybody else in the Thieves Guild because, what's the word for blending into a crowd? There's a specific word for it. The ability to basically disappear is part of the reason that the Thieves Guild is so capable of, basically not getting caught. Nobody's culpable because nobody knows who the leader is. In this case, I would assume that some people would know who the leader is. Probably not very many. And even if they did, to some degree, the leader of the Thieves Guild, at least in the Myriad, is partially responsible for the poorer people in the city. They act as a home for those who have found themselves in a bad situation. Thieves' Cant is a big thing, which means an extra phase that only they understand. The interactions would be the best way to do it. It only gets them, they only get caught as they only gets taught to them as they ascend. I like that a lot more. I do love ranks of authority, but I really think they only work in places where, you getting caught doesn't hurt you, basically. I do like the idea of the Thieves' Cant, like, getting more, intense isn't the word, more complicated, and intricate is the word I'm looking for. Getting more intricate as you ascend up the ladder. That's a lot of fun, actually. So, Thieves' Cant, oops, is taught, the words are not working. Thieves' Cant gets more intricate the higher up the ladder. Whoops, you are. Yes, that's basically it. The higher up the ladder you are. The Myriad acts as a home to those who are less fortunate and find themselves in dire circumstances. The Myriad acts as a home to those who are less fortunate and find themselves in dire circumstances. The leader is considered responsible. Whoops. For those under his care. The leader is considered responsible for those under his care and is often found putting away extra stocks of food and supplies for rough years in the future. So the thing that I don't know if I want to I don't know if I want to enable in this group is whether or not they steal from only rich people versus stealing from pretty much everyone who is not in the Thieves Guild, if that makes sense. It can be a clever thing like tattoos on your fingers while only visible to those with the sight that the guild made up. I actually love that. I incorporated something like that in my first campaign because you have basically true sight. But I don't see why you could not make a true sight that is kind of like reading invisible ink. There is a see invisibility, that's what it is. So you can read invisible ink with see invisibility, but I feel like there should be a way to fine-tune both of those spells to be only reactionary to a certain vein of those spells, if that makes sense. Because otherwise I've tried stuff like that, but haven't had the skill to do it entirely as ciphers. I can't be bothered with ciphers. I can't. I love my players and I love spending time on this campaign. But I don't want to do that. I should probably just use a pre-made cipher that they can maybe spend extra time figuring out, but I would rather just have them be like, I'm gonna roll in, I'd rather have them roll an intelligence check for it. Like in that one feat, there's a feat, it's linguistics, I think it is, that you can make up your own cipher and then the DC is like 15 plus your intelligence modifier or something like that. Closest I did was for my Fomorian cipher alphabet, which was pretty fun. That is so fun. Did you do it for a character or for your players as a dungeon master? Okay. Stealing from rich people versus stealing from poor people. I think they would not stoop so low as to steal from those who are in dire straits, basically. Campaign world I still plan on releasing sometime. That's so fun. True Sight is honestly a really high level kind of vision to know if anyone can acquire it though. Yeah, but we have See Invisibility is like 3rd level. See Invisibility 5e. Ah. Yeah, there is a spell called See Invisibility. Oh, it's 2nd level. It's not even 3rd. I figured it would be a higher than Invisibility, but it's not. I guess the way to get around that would be to do Nystul's Magic Aura, which completely stops divination magic from working on you. Not Nystul's. Yeah, it is Nystul's. It's Nystul's. No, it's I'm thinking of non-detection, bruh. Detection, non-detection 5e. Yeah. Liches are one of the beings with true sight. Ooh. Yeah, I love non-detection because it doesn't let you get hit by any divination magic. It's nice. Lasts 8 hours for a 3rd level spell. So the Myriad acts as a home to those who are less fortunate. They do... let's do rules. They have several unwritten but very clear rules. Unwritten. I can't type today, man. Unwritten but very clear rules. The members are not to steal from those in a impoverished. Those impoverished. It's not really an action word. 8 hours of protection? No. 16 hours protection with a 3rd level spell slot and 1 sorcery point? Yes. There's also a warlock invocation called Devil's Sight, but I can't remember what that does. Oh, that's fun. Devil's Sight is darkness and magical darkness. Oh, okay. There's a... that's probably because of, there's a couple of devils and demons. I think they're devils. The Abishai are devils, that can cast darkness, and they, like, have advantage in it and, like, all that fun stuff. Members are not to steal from those who are in an impoverished state. Members are not to kill unless their life is threatened. I feel like I should come up with one more. You could make your own feat or invocation of some kind, or even your own spell for it. Yeah, I let my players, and technically the NPCs in my world, make their own spells. And just as a note, the 9th level spell Wish does not organically exist in my world. It's something that my players have to make, quote unquote, when they reach that high, because otherwise that's basically my excuse for not making every high level NPC have the Wish spell, because that would be a little overpowered, if I'm being honest. Because it reduces a spell casting down to an action and have no material cost as long as it's 8th level or under. And that's crazy. That's crazy. These can't get more intricate. Threatened. Why is it? No. Members are not to kill unless their life is threatened. Members are not to steal from those who are in an impoverished state. And let's do one more. Oh. Members are not to encroach upon the territory of another Thieves Guild. Woohoo! I like that actually. Thieves Guild can't. Gets more intricate the higher up the ladder you are. You also don't need to have access to the spell. Yeah, exactly. Which means a sorcerer could cast Simulacrum with it, which if you have the right build, for you and your Simulacrum can cast Flock of Familiars. Casting 18 pseudo-dragons. That's so fun. I love spells. I've tried playing other classes, but wizard, it just has my heart right in its hands. I love the wizard class. Everything else just does not hit my brain the same way. I do love playing other classes, but not for long term. These can't get more intricate the higher up the ladder you are. Each Thieves Guild from the different continents has their own version of Thieves Can't for higher ups to communicate. Perfect. Add what visions are available and what they can see. Like if what you made it so that Arcana is written, but regular vision allows the person to only see what's on the surface. But if you have something Arcana vision, you can see what's underneath. Like the specifics of a arcane casting? Is that what you mean? Like you can see the hidden potential of like something arcanely written? Each Thieves Guild from the different continents has their own version of Thieves Camp for higher ups to communicate. Thieves Camp gets more intricate the higher up the ladder you are. Yes. Yes. Myriad has... Whoops. Save. Harun Majesty. I don't want to do the notable members right now. I'm just not feeling the brain power for it, you know? The Myriad is a Thieves Guild on the continent of the continent Rundar. They operate separately from the Vale and the Mia block of Latour and Aylmore, respectively, though they do often partner with them to achieve bigger goals. The Myriad is centered in Umbra as the underground operation of the city. We've got culture, which I think is pretty fun. No other creature with sentience has it and would be something you could make UV tattoos with. A spell saying it would reveal it could also reveal details in arts and chat, and that could even trace back to an ancient order. That's so fun, actually. I love special sight. It just makes everything so much more interesting. I love making NPCs that are divination wizards, especially. It just makes it like just a little bit of doubt in my players' minds that everything that they've hidden up till now is now known by somebody else. I just love that. I love it. Like, surface is the basic information of the spell, but underneath is the intricate design, such as strengths, weaknesses, what it activates. Yeah. I actually have, so what I have in my world, is, well, of course, the spell Identify. But on top of that, Identify has basically a stronger version, that is able to see very powerful stuff. So there's some stuff that my players have found at this point. There's one thing that my players have found at this point that they can't read with Identify because Identify is too low of a spell for it. I think that a first level spell should not be able to tell everything about an object personally, and I think if you have cursed objects, they should not all be easily identified, essentially. So yeah. Mannerisms, notes. Guys, I'm so tired today, and for what? I slept for 1,000,000 hours. I wonder, did I close this? Yes, I did. I wonder if, okay. Identify is an odd spell. Why do you say that? That's so interesting. Some cursed items can be tricky to identify because they're designed to look like normal items. Yeah, exactly. Hello, Yvonne. How's it going? How are you this morning? Evening for me, for another 2 hours. Yeah, I think so. I think it's like if you look at a lot of cursed items in the Dungeon Master's Guide, you'll see a little note that says you could tell that this item is cursed through the Identify spell. And I feel like that is dumb. We are gonna go crash. Hope to see you around. Catch more of your streams. Thanks! I'll definitely check out yours as well. I hope you have a good one. Good night, good night. 6 a.m. on the weekend is a bit early. Yeah, definitely. A little too early for the weekend. Alrighty. I think, so I'm exhausted, man. It's been a long week and I am tired. But on top of that, I think we did a lot of good thinking today. I think we got a lot of fun stuff for the Myriad that we can build off of in the future. And what I definitely want to do is go through and do some session notes for everything. My brain is orging. And do some session notes for that, like, not the entire session because obviously we don't know how it's going to go. But for like some lines that the guy could say and things like that. It's a first level spell that can identify anything at any level, but requires a super expensive material just to cast one time. It doesn't require a material, does it? Identify 5e. Have I been playing it wrong? I'm rich and lazy. A pearl worth at least 100 gold pieces. It doesn't say it consumes it though. You can use that every time. Yes sir, yes sir. I once used Identify as an artificer to help an NPC who was believed to be cursed. Not many knew. Yeah, the thing about Identify is that it's Artificer, Bard, Wizard. So it's not open to a lot of classes. And on top of that, if you're a Bard, you only have a certain number of spells that you can take. And that's just... it's just not worth it in most cases. So I gave my players a Ring of Identify that has 3 uses a day that they can use. Because I didn't want to make them do that. That would be stupid. They decreased the value in 5e. Oh, interesting. It was different in previous it was different in previous versions. I can't imagine that being more expensive for a first level spell. Like 100 gold pieces is steep for a first level caster. Maybe I'm just thinking of wizards because you also have to buy, if you're a wizard, you gotta buy all of your, you gotta buy all of your spell pages as well. It was several grand in 2e? That's crazy. A running detail roleplay was that as an artificer, I crafted the component of Identify into a monocle. That's fun, actually. I love having stuff, put into there. Stuff put into items. I love it when my players make their... basically make their spell components meaningful to their character. It's fun. And it consumed the pearl. That's insanity. Terrible. I could never. Okay. So, I think since we've gotten a little farther in the Myriad and we have some stuff to build on, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this today because I'm tired and my energy is low. But we will pick this up again next week on, I think, Monday. It's on the thing. You'll find it. Don't worry. But let's go ahead and see who's online today. Sky Stars. Okay, let's do Sky Stars. Hold. Let me grab their name. They are playing games right now. So if you don't wanna spend if you don't like Fire Emblem, which is what they're streaming right now, go ahead and just hang out for a little bit, maybe chat with them, and you know, give another small streamer some love, just for fun. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and raid, and I'm gonna go ahead and end stream. So, have a good one, guys. Bye!